Are Pakistanis cowards? It's a harsh question, one that stings with accusation. But sometimes we need hard questions to confront uncomfortable truths. This isn't about bashing Pakistan. It's about a painful reality many of us know. We often choose silence when we should roar. We prioritize survival over standing up for what's right. This isn't just about individuals. It's about a systemic reluctance to challenge injustice. It's about a culture where speaking truth to power can have brutal consequences. But where does this perceived cowardice come from? Is it fear, shame, or a misplaced sense of pragmatism? Let me tell you about a man I'll call Faisal. Faisal went to Saudi Arabia like many Pakistanis, seeking a better life. He toiled under the unforgiving desert sun, sending his hard-earned rials back home. He trusted his kafil, his sponsor, with his livelihood. Then, the unthinkable happened. Faisal was cheated. His kafil withheld his earnings, leaving him stranded and desperate. Faisal went to court, he fought for his rights, and he won. Justice was served, at least on paper. But his kafil, wielding influence and connections, blocked Faisal's bank account. Trapped and penniless, Faisal was forced to return to Pakistan, his dreams shattered. Back home, Faisal sought help. He reached out to friends, family, even government officials. He hoped for solidarity, for someone to share his burden, to help him reclaim what was rightfully his. What he found was silence. His friends offered sympathy, but not support. His family, burdened by their own struggles, urged him to move on. The government, mired in bureaucracy, offered no solace. Faisal's story isn't unique. It's a familiar echo in the lives of countless Pakistanis who have been wronged, exploited, and silenced. We tell ourselves it's better to stay quiet, to avoid making waves. We whisper about injustice behind closed doors, but shy away from confronting it head-on. Why? It's easy to say it's about money. Roti, kapta, makan, food, clothing, shelter. These are the priorities that consume us. In a country grappling with poverty and instability, standing up for principles can feel like a luxury. We convince ourselves that survival trumps morality. But is it always just about basic needs? Or is it also about the fear of consequences? We've seen what happens to those who dare to challenge the status quo, the activists who disappear, the journalists who are silenced, the ordinary citizens who are harassed, threatened, even killed for raising their voices. Section 5. Living in fear's shadow. Fear is a powerful weapon. It paralyzes us, keeps us compliant. We self-censor, avoiding any action that might draw unwanted attention. We tell ourselves it's not worth the risk, that our silence keeps us safe. But at what cost? This fear isn't just about physical safety. It's also about social ostracization. We're afraid of being labeled troublemakers, of being disowned by our communities. We crave acceptance, belonging, and sometimes that means conforming, even when it goes against our conscience. Section 6. Shame and identity. Then there's the shame, the gnawing feeling that somehow we're not good enough, that our struggles are our own fault. This shame is deeply ingrained, a product of historical baggage and societal conditioning. We're taught to be subservient, to respect authority even when it's undeserved. We internalize the narrative that we're somehow inferior, undeserving of basic rights and dignity. This shame manifests in our reluctance to fight for ourselves, to demand better. It's easier to accept injustice than to believe we deserve better. Section 7. A global perspective. Let's be clear, this isn't just a Pakistani problem. Every society grapples with injustice. Every culture has its own version of silence and fear. Look at the Black Lives Matter movement in the United States, the fight against caste discrimination in India, the struggle for democracy in Hong Kong. These movements are a testament to the human spirit's resilience, our capacity to rise against oppression. They remind us that silence is not an option when basic human dignity is at stake. Section 8. Breaking the cycle. So how do we break free from this cycle of fear and silence? It starts with acknowledging the problem. We can't fix what we refuse to see. We need to have honest conversations about the forces that keep us down, about the ways we internalize and perpetuate oppression. We need to support each other, build bridges of solidarity. We need to reclaim our narratives, tell our own stories of resilience and resistance.